Greetings and salutations to the men and women around the corridor. My name is RTQ, Rail Trail Queensland, and I would like to welcome you to episode 1! Today we're covering NGRs, EMUs, and a little bit of explanations and speculation for what might be going on in the future. Here we go! So, sticking to my guns as the Workshop Railways trespasser, thank you Matthew English, I have taken another trip to the workshops to scope out what's going on. So we found more EMUs that weren't there last time. So we have a list of numbers here. We've got 78, 73, 02, 61, 69, 01, and 04. Now, settling some beef, because there's been a lot of comments on my previous videos on Ipswich. All the EMUs to date are being destroyed, except for 01 and 04 at this stage. Now, community theory is that they're keeping EMU 60 because we couldn't find it in the yard. We couldn't find it anywhere. So our theory is that they are keeping EMU 60 because it is comprised of one carriage of 05, which was destroyed in 2001. So that's the theory. They're keeping 01, 04, and 60. 60 is still a bit of a bet. It's a bit of a bet. We don't know if it's officially being destroyed or whether they're keeping it for moral. We don't know that one for sure, but time will tell. As of recently, EMU 81 has been moved to Redbank because EMUs 14 and 80, I think it were moved to Ipswich. So 14 and 80 are in Ipswich, and 81 has recently joined the gang at Redbank on the Unwired Road. So that's going to be a bit of a journey. I'm going to scope the place out sometime in the very future, and this most likely going to be mentioned in the next episode of Rail Renegade. Now, onto the subject of 01 and 04. Theories have gone wild, saying they're going to be scrapped, EMUs are going to be turned into an artificial reef at the Great Barrier Reef. I can assure the general public that EMUs 01 and 04 are being preserved. They are being kept for future purposes. They are being completely devolved into their original state, which includes the general blue livery with the original QR logo. They're going to have the handles put back on them. They're going to have the cushions recovered, so they're going to be in the original blue format. They're going to have the wraparound windows reinstalled. It's going to be a blast. Honestly, if they do a heritage tour on EMUs 01 and 04, holy wow, I am going to chase that so hard, because there's nothing I love more than old stuff and handles. When the handles were being phased out, you miss them so much because you see all this button stuff. It's gross. So, for the lack of a better word, handles are coming back in on 01 and 04. Original colours, wraparounds, you name it, it's coming back. It's being put back in its original format, and we're going to carry on with the show. Now, on the subject of EMUs being put into a reef, I'm just about ready to clear that up because after an official message from Queensland Rail, I have been confirmed that they are not being put into the ocean. So I've got that message right here, just gonna pull it up, 1 second.
2 hours later.
Hi, insert name here. Earlier this year, there was a proposal submitted to Queensland Rail for an EMU unit to be potentially used as an artificial reef. However, following initial investigations, this proposal was found to be unviable due to several reasons, including the extensive work required to ensure no risk of environmental contamination, as well as its stability and ongoing maintenance requirements. We are advised that the preference is for purpose-built reefs over retired infrastructure. This is bloody huge. This just puts all those rumours that were spread ages ago about EMUs be putting underwater fully to rest. It is official, ladies and gentlemen, that EMUs are not being put underwater, and we, as a community, have won. We are not going scuba diving to see any EMU units whatsoever. I see this as an absolute win. In NGR news, we have received visual confirmation that 701 has begun testing and is going through the long and enduring process to become part of the Revenue NGR sisterhood. It has been sitting there for forever. It's been sitting in Red Bank, it's been sitting at Wulkuraka, it's been everywhere, not moving. It's gone through a metric ton of testing, going all the way up to Maryborough at one point, with water tanks inside to simulate passengers. Big screw up on everyone's part because that eventually broke the damn thing. So it's been sitting at Red Bank with parts sticking out of it. It's got transferred to Wulkuraka with parts sticking out of it. And now she's all patched up and wrapped in the new Aboriginal wrap that everyone seems to know and love. Thank you, 705. And has now been put out on the tracks for the first time in a while. So let's see where she takes us, see if I can manage to get some photos of her before she goes into revenue, and see how many months it takes for me to finally get a photo of inside 701 after it goes into revenue service. Other NGRs that have started testing include 770 and 769, which have both completed acceptance testing and are now currently testing all through the network. I saw 769 at Eagle Junction a few days ago. She's looking very spiffy with her test train destos and her lovely new wires that'll eventually get dirty in a couple months. So let's see how long it takes for them to actually bring this one into service, because they've been rapid firing these NGRs. I kid you not. They're in testing for like nearly a week, if that, and then before you know it, they're on the track. So let's see how long it takes to get all the way to 7.5, all tested, ready to go. I've seen 7.7.2 being taken in via transfer. Thank you, 1720s. And, let's see how long it takes for that one to start service, because 701 is the oldest NGR by number, and then 772 is the newest NGR in Queensland by number. So we are going to have a look and see when and where they strike next. Onto the speculation side of this podcast. Ice 151 has received a shiny new pantograph on top of her lovely little head, and it's kind of setting rumours that there is going to be an ice farewell tour similar to the EMU one that took place a couple months ago. Because, let's be honest, a new pantograph means a new beginning for the train. New electrical current, stronger stuff. It is going to be absolute madhouse. And I am praying that they actually make a tour, because the ice is one of everyone's favourite unit. It's one of their favourite units, whether it's frigging Ice to Gympie or the little special ones out near Shorncliffe. They are everyone's favourite, hands down, because they have the world's cutest horn. We have had several people asking QR about whether there is going to be an ice tour, and their answer has always been no. No, 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 no. But now we've been asking them, and they said it's a maybe. So they've changed their mind from a no to a maybe, and this really fits together with the puzzle that is Ice 151. Because think about it for a second. We've got no's turning into maybes, and we have a bright red shiny new pantograph. That can only mean one of two things. Either it was desperately broken and they needed to replace it, or the tour is actually going to happen and they're trying to see if anyone's being observant. So that's pretty much covering it for today. Next episode, I'll be linking in with a very special person who will be giving us a lot of insight onto what the plans are going to be next and how we are going to, come together and keep doing what we do best. So until then, I am RTQ, and I will see you next month.